right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Diggie A-2 podcast. This is still season 3, the new golden era. This is now episode 11. And what you notice behind me is Moreland Avenue, the mural of Big Boy and Andre 3 Stacks, otherwise known as Outkast, and Little 5 Points. It is the mural giving them homage and respect to what they mean to my hometown city. And I am super excited about this episode today. Man, so many things going on, man. But the first thing that I want to mention about before we even get started is the one date of significance in hip-hop culture, which was 3 August 1995. And I'm going to talk about the significance of that particular date because the 3rd of August 1995 is when Andre 3000 received the award for Best Hip-Hop Group at the Source Awards that year. Even between the East and West Coast beef and everything, he got up on the stage and said, the South got something to say, and that's all I got to say. That moment on changed hip-hop forever, and that has brought us to the reason why we are sitting here in front of you all for this particular episode. So I definitely don't want you all to forget that particular day in hip-hop. But I got two special guests with me today. Actually, these are two of my brothers. One, my blood brother, one, my industry brother. So my blood brother doesn't need an introduction. It's Matt Dalby. He's been on the show. This is his 5th time coming on the board, his first appearance in season 3. And then the other gentleman that I have today is an industry brother of mine. He goes by the name of OG Tec. And me and OG Tec go back a little bit now, man. Like every time I get to know this brother, we get to vibe and talk about hip hop. He is an artist himself. He has a single out right now with his homeboy. He gonna kick my ass. OG Red. I can't get the man name right. He clearly laughing in the background. I can't get the brother name right, man. But his brother OG Red got a song out right now called Winning. Winning is something that you all need to go out there and support this cat. And he is what I would say is an essence of taking care of folks in the independent platform. Every time I see OG Tec, he is always reaching out to independent artists, giving them space on his platform and for y'all to get out there and connect with him. And I've been on his platform for about 3 times. This is his first time on ours, so I'm excited. So without further ado, I'm going to bring these two gentlemen in to have this discussion today. And you all say what's up to the people, man. What's good? What's happening? And introduce yourselves one more time. We're going to go down to the bottom first with my blood brother, Matt. What's good, bruh? What's happening?
No, I don't like be on the bottom, man. But it's all good. Like,
it's a lot of things checked out.
No, everything good, bro. Just first time on season 3, grew beer for this one, so yeah, got some salt and pepper in here. Uncle Phil look, so we're good, man. We're good.
See, I wouldn't even go there, man. You did it to yourself. Hey, why don't you show them what you're working with, man, with that sweatship real quick?
Dog. Oh, yeah.
See that? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You already know what it is.
Gotta support my brother. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, man. Let me show the people what you're working with, man. And then, we got OG Tec in the building. My nigga OG Tec, man. What's good, OG? Talk to the folks, man. Introduce yourself one time, homie.
All right, what's good? OG Tec in the building, representing one team, one mission.
Show.
And that is Red Boss and OG Tec on the song Winning.
Red Balls, my bad, dog. My memory bad, dog. My bad, dog.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you on the platform. I'm up here looking, man. I must have missed the mirror, the way to flip myself, man. Okay, I'm good though, but hey, I just looked at my shirt. I'm like, man, I'm backwards, but it's all good.
It's forwards on my end, so you're good. You're good.
Hey, thank you, man, for allowing me on. Big salute to everybody, man. I'm glad to have this conversation, man. So yeah.
Yes, conversation much needed, and we're gonna jump right into the facts first. We get all the facts out the way on the platform. We're gonna jump into the actual discussion. Outkast, one of the most decorated and what I would say impactful MCs in the history of hip hop and Southern hip hop to be in particular. But we're gonna run down the facts anyway because that's what we do on this platform. So to roll the tape a little bit, they have 4 American Music Awards, 6 BET Awards, 1 BET Hip Hop Award, 6 Grammy Awards, 9 Video Music Awards, 3 Soul Train Awards, and then 1 Source Award is from the 1995 Source Awards that I just talked about that took place on the 3rd of August of 1995. But the 3 particular albums that we're going to focus on today is Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, which is a little bit outside of our scope of the new golden era, but the significance of the album has to be spoken about within this episode. That's why OG Tec has it as his background, because that album is Outkast's first album, is groundbreaking 4.5 Mics from the Source magazine, one-time platinum. You all know the hits. It came out in April '94. My intro to let you know, Ain't No Thing, the self-titled song, Call of the Wild, Players Ball, Get Up, Get Out, True That. From Big Rube, which we'll talk about some of the spoken word, because I think they introduced spoken word before it was actually a real thing with Big Rube. Shout out to Big Rube. And of course, one of my brother's favorites is Crumble and Herb. And then in August of '96, they released AT-Aliens, which is a shirt that I have on right now, which is one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time. Y'all go check out my Facebook page, you'll see why. 4 Mics from the Source, 2 times platinum. Y'all know the hits about this one as well. 2 Dope Boys in the Cadillac, AT-Aliens, Wheels of Steel, Jazzy Bell, Elevators, and the Elevators remix, Over the Woods, Wild and Mainstream, Extraterrestrial, straight from ATL, 13th Floor, which is also another hidden track. But to me, their magnum opus in their catalog is Aquemini. Aquemini is Outkast. Only to this day 5 mic album released from Source magazine, released in September 1998. 2 times platinum. It is number 49 of the Rolling Stone magazine's top 500 albums of all time because of its significance to the culture. Number 49 to 500, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you some context of how important this album is. I can talk about this one as well. Hold On, Be Strong, Return to the Gangster, Rosa Parks, Student on the Barbie, Aquemini, Synthesizer, Art of Storytelling 1 and 2, My Favorite, Spody, Opie, Dopalicious, Angel, and Y'all Scared, which is one of my favorites as well too. So all the hits on there. These 3 albums is probably the best 3-star album catalog. Probably 4 if you want to count Stankonia too. I think Stankonia, you can throw that in there too. But their 3-album run in the 90s is unmatched. But what I told my brothers before we started is their non-album hits. So they have some other hits that are on some soundtracks. In Due Time on the Soul Food soundtrack, Benz and Beamer from New Jersey Drive, Everlasting from Nothing to Lose, Phobia from Higher Learning, Over the Neck of the Woods from The Wood, my favorite movie, The Wood, that's one of my favorite movies, no doubt, and High Schooling from the High School High soundtrack is the premise of our conversation this afternoon. So where are we going to start? Man, I don't even know how to start, but I'm going to start with the guest on the show first, OG Tec. I'm going to pass the mic over to you, my good sir, and that is, what is the significance of Outkast to hip-hop? Start big and go down or narrow it in a little.
Man, Outkast, the Southern culture. I mean, we already had the UGKs, of course. We had the 8 Balls, but Outkast came through and really changed the game. And they not only did they put the South on the map, they put Georgia on the map. You know, and like with the versatile styles, everything with them. They really came and changed the game as far as Southern artists representing the South, man. Yep. You know, so
I would definitely agree. You know, and me and all 3 of us are from Georgia. Me and Matt originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Is like a homecoming for us. Mm-hmm. And I could remember when Outkast first came out, and we were like, "Whoa, like what is this? Is this?" Because we're from. If you say you are truly from Atlanta, Georgia, you know that Atlanta was known about the freaknik, booty shake music, and you know what I'm saying, having fun, having a good time. But here comes Outkast with Southern Playlist of Cadillac music, and they talking about some real things that are going on. You know, get up, get out. You know, motherfuckers staying in their mama's basement for 30 years, not doing nothing with their life. You know what I'm saying? You got the Call of the Wild. You know what I'm saying? Where you talk about you know, trying to get out there and do some things and get out that dope boy life. I mean, it's all kinds of different themes and hidden gems. And on top of that, these brothers could rap. 3 Stacks and Big Boy do not get the due they deserve as MCs, man. Like they really put. No. I still think 3 Stacks is, you know, I mean, we'll talk about this as we get into the discussion. His pen game is tremendous, so he definitely elevated his game. But I think Big Boy is right there behind him, man. So I'm gonna pass the mic over to Matt on this one. So when we talk about Matt and Outkast's importance to hip hop, you know, both of us agree on this, that this is one of our favorite hip hop groups. So this is homecoming for us. But what do they mean to Atlanta, Georgia, man? What do they mean to the South?
I'll put it like this: what they mean to the South, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I can remember maybe 7 years back, they were talking about changing the Stone Mountain logo to Outkast. Mm-hmm. That's how important they are to the South. Like, you have we all know the history of Georgia, Confederate state, but to change those Confederate soldiers to be Outkast, that shows not only what they meant to the Black community, but also the new upper white community too. Like they were actually in. We should change this to Outkast, because when you can't speak of Atlanta, you being a big sports head, you think of Hank Aaron and being in the religious or civil rights, think of Martin Luther King, but realistic. If you ask any kid or any mid-age or our age, a little younger, Atlanta, first thing you think of is Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't think of anybody else but Outkast anymore. Who's from Atlanta? First one is always Outkast. So that's the importance they are to Georgia. Like it's Outkast State.
It is, man. It definitely is. So let's transition into the music, gentlemen. Let's talk about the music. That's why we here, is because we love the music that these gentlemen have created. So I want to pass the mic over to OG Tec first with that Southern Playlistic Cadillac music background behind them. It was their first LP, which is when me and Matt first fell in love with Outkast as well. So OG Tec, let's talk about that album, man. What does that album mean to you, bro?
Man, let me tell you, man. The gems on that album, and you named them all, like from the start, man, from Peaches Talking to when that bass line come in and Andre just started rapping, man. And I mean, from Players Ball to, like you said, Claiming True. But not only that, man, Funky Ride. Funky Ride, bro, just something that you can ride, because the South is known for that bass music, and that man, that's something that you can just pull out an old lack, and put that ashy elbow out the window, man, and lean back and just ride. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the whole album, bro, was just is definitely in my top 10 of albums. It just means so much, man. Especially the I'm just looking at all the titles myself, man. The Welcome to Atlanta, Players Ball. For those that don't know, that was on the LaFlash Records Christmas album, and that song just, the video just changed the whole game. The Atlanta Braves jersey, from Andre letting everybody know where he's from. Yep. It's just that whole album is just a game changer, man, for the South, man. Definitely a game changer, man.
And one of the things that you mentioned, to go back to the Players Ball, the Players Ball itself is a celebratory event that happens in Atlanta on Christmas Day. So that's where that thing came from, right? And then on top of that, shout out to Puff Daddy, because Puff Daddy actually shot the video for that as well. He came to Atlanta, shot the video for Outkast, and to have Puff Daddy shoot your first video, like he knew. I think Puff knew, like, these guys are gonna be something, man. And it just gives me so many good memories, man, for thinking about that. I went back and listened to it all this week. But one of the things that I love that is like one of those kind of those hidden gems on Southern Playlistic is Big Rube. Big Rube talks about some truth and true that. So I want to talk about that OG Tec, because I'll talk about it on the ATLian side. But he says some stuff that I said, man, he talked about this in 1994. Mm-hmm. A lot of this shit still applies today, and it's 2021, and this Big Rube talking about that specific skit. Now I think it's like a minute and a half or so, but I don't want to say it word for word, but because I want to get your take on that first. But man, how does that resonate with you going back and listening to that particular, 1.5 as it goes into Crumbling Herb? He said he's almost time left in this crazy world. Wake up and see what's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? That goes right into Crumbling Herb, which is me and Matt's favorite song, of course. Shout out to Matt. You know what I'm saying? We play that every Thursday before
every Thursday before school.
Every Thursday before school, but, you know what I'm saying? But that's besides the point. But I really want to talk about the hidden messages in that particular piece, OG Tec. So how do you resonate with that, bro?
Man, he dropped a lot of gems in there, and I don't think that at that particular time that people understood what he was really trying to get across to people. You know what I'm saying? One, it flew over a lot of people's heads, especially and I don't know word for word. I do remember it, but just the things that he was saying, man, it was just, it's in line. Like you said, everything is in line with what he was saying then to what we are, where we are now in the state of America and stuff. So I thought that was real dope that they put him in there, you know, for that, the spoken word. And yeah.
Shout out to the Goody Mob too. Goody Mob's contribution to the album is dope. But one of the lines that I remember from Big Roof saying is, Outkast, you know, do you consider yourself an outcast? You know what I'm saying? That's what pretty much what he was trying to say.
Right.
Adjective means homeless or not accepted in society, but let's look deeper than that. Are you an outcast? You know what I mean? So he just the way he broke it down, and you know, if you know all about pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac doors, then you probably a cracker or a nigga that think you're
a cracker.
You just don't understand. You know what I mean? It's like it's just like, I mean, I hate to be so crass about it, but it's just like, man, people thought one way about the South, and what goes right back to what we were talking about, you know, all about, you know, the player style. That's not all about Atlanta was about, man, but that's how we were depicted. And Outkast changed the entire way of how we looked at not only the South, but Atlanta in general, man. It really was a game changer, and that's why I got 4.5 mics from the Source magazine, which should have got 5 sources. Should have given 5 mics out of the gate. But man, let's transition over to AT Aliens, man. So we'll talk about September of 1996 is when they dropped. Actually, I apologize. August of '96 when they dropped AT Aliens. AT Aliens to me is my favorite Outkast album for lots of reasons. Because of where I was in my time of my life, and the sound was a lot different than Southern Playalistic. So Matt, you get this one, bro. What is that transition like? The maturation of Big Boy and Dre from Southern Playalistic to this particular album, AT Aliens. So how did that come about?
Like I think it came about because they got older. They left that high school age and they were going more into the early 20s. I still remember seeing me and you Elevators come on TV and running to go get your ass to say, hey man, Outkast new videos on TV.
Coming out, yeah.
And then we listened to it, and first thing we noticed was you can tell the sound was different. Yeah. It was completely different sound than what we were used to. But it wasn't about, you know, being a player or anything like that. It had more of a cautious lyrics. When you talk about sitting in the cloud looking at cellophane spinning around, and it's like, because you know that was at your time. I think that was close to your senior or junior year in high school.
Yeah.
So it started making you think, all right, I mean, you know what? We're graduating, getting older, and it kind of showed that they were getting older and their sound was changing to fit their age. They wasn't sticking to the same formula. So I'm with you, mate. You know, Outkast, AT Aliens, that's probably my top, because mainstream that's my favorite hip hop song ever. Yeah. Like that did it for me. But there's so many hidden gems on that. Because you mentioned the remix of Elevators. I remember listening to remix of Jazzy Bells when we were going up to Florida.
Shout out to Babyface on there. Shout out to Babyface on that remix too. Word, man.
So, you know, just you know, running up, it's just I think they were getting older and leaving that high school age and turning to young adults. And they were more rapping about what they're starting to see and where they want to go in their life.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And I'm not trying to, you know, spit bars in here, but you're going to hear a lot of quotables in Outkast in this particular episode, ladies and gentlemen, because of some of the things that they were dropping. And to go with the Matt's point about Elevators, you know, 3 Stack says, you know, if you don't move your feet, then I don't eat. So we like neck to neck. So I'm like, most cats don't get that. But basically what he's saying is, hey, if you don't buy my music, I don't eat. That's pretty much what he's saying. So it's like, we neck to neck, dog. Like, I ain't no famous or not any more ahead in life than you are, because I can't do what I need to do if you don't buy what I'm putting out. And you'd be like, damn, man, like I think it went over a lot of cats' heads, but now more as people get, to your point, Matt, that they were getting more mature, starting to realize things that was going on around them, and like, man, we need to start giving back and letting people recognize, you know what I'm saying, like, how do you make it in the music industry? Well, you can't make moves unless people buy your shit. Like, that's just the bottom line, especially back in 96 when it was about physical things, you know, CDs and stuff like that. It wasn't about streaming and all that stuff, you know what I mean? And people actually had to go out and buy your stuff. So if you don't buy my shit, I don't eat. So we pretty much in the same point in life. You know what I'm saying? So.
And you know, I always mention the ceiling fan because I just remember how many times you start thinking about what you got to do next, and you're staring up, looking at the ceiling fan. Yeah. so that just shows they were getting older. Like, hey, we got to start making moves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pass the mic over to OG Tec on this one. OG Tec, one of their standout joints on AT-Aliens is the 13th Floor, Growing Old, which is one of my favorite Outkast songs of all time. And the reason why I say that, well, another shout out to Big Rube again for the spoken word piece. But that particular song dropped so many gems on there. So how does that song in particular resonate with you? We're gonna talk about songs on this one, ladies and gentlemen, because Outkast catalog is enormous. It really is unmatched. But I want to talk about the 13th Floor here for a second, because that's a hidden gem. It wasn't released as a single, but everybody in Atlanta knows about the 13th Floor and Growing Old.
Yeah, 13th Floor, man, was definitely another one of those hidden gems, man. That was super fire off that album. I'm trying to think of a line off of it, man, because it was so many in that one. But that was definitely one of my. I'm looking at the track list. Probably my third favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one. I'm trying to think of a song off that one, man. It's been a minute since I heard that one.
It's all good, brother. That's why you got me. That's why I got your back. That's why I got your back.
Got me on that one.
That's why I got your back. So I mean, we all know about, two dope boys. I mean, they come out the gate swinging, like really, literally come out the gate swinging. Then they go into AT-Aliens. Then they go into Wheels of Steel. I love Wheels of Steel.
I like Babylon. Babylon was one of my favorites also.
Yeah, Wheels of Steel is dope, man. He's like, when he starts out the track, he says, the flip-flops and
socks and sweatpants.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's just how we were in the South, man. We just wild, and it's still like that today. And then he go into Jezebel. Talk about, young girls, whether it's, doing bad things in the street, stuff like that, talking about that lifestyle. Then they transition into some more darker elements like elevators, and the sound just gets different. Shout out to Organized Noise Productions. Oh my God, these brothers do not get enough credit for their production value on these 3 albums, man. Like, but the 13th Floor, and I mentioned that one, and Mainstream, of course, too. Shout out to you, Matt, and Mainstream is dope as hell too. And when I think about the 13th Floor, it's just talking about just growing old. And one of the lines that 3 Stacks says in Growing Old is, take this music dead serious while others entertain. It's like, okay, well, damn, man. Like, some people really getting into the music business to get famous and rich, but I'm doing this because this is what I love to do, not to get famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just dropped so many gems, and shout out to Big Rube on that one as well too, man. And he literally just like gives us another lesson of, okay, spoken word can be incorporated into hip hop, and it really wasn't talked about a lot during that time. But as we got further along into hip hop, it started to get more synonymous. But Big Rube really introduced it, at least for the South. I can't say about all other East Coast or West Coast, but for the South, Big Rube was it for us, man. Like, he really introduced that style of getting that into albums. And then, Aquemini to me speaks for itself. Aquemini is Outkast's magnum opus. To me, their greatest piece of artwork. And when you go back and listen to Aquemini, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna be like, they kind of all over the place, and that's on purpose. It's on purpose for them to be that way, because they are experimenting with literally jazz, funk, synthesizing. West Savannah with Big Boy on there. Like, they just doing all kinds of it. And then they give you the boom back with Scooter and the Barbie with Raekwon the Chef. They give you a little bit of everything on there. That's why it got the 5 mics it deserves. So I'm not even gonna get into that. But I want to know what our album resonates. I'll start with you, Matt, on this one first. So we talk about Aquemini, which is, like I said in the beginning, Outkast's magnum opus, their greatest album, their greatest piece of artwork, in my opinion, is Aquemini. And a lot of other hip hop heads feel the same way. I've seen a lot of top 5 albums of all time of hip hop, and I've seen Aquemini on a lot of those lists, and it's rightfully so. So let's talk about Aquemini, man. We're talking about another graduation step. So they graduated from AT-Aliens, from Southern Playalistic, and then they graduated again. I'm like, how could you get even better than AT-Aliens? And they did it, bro. And they did it, and they got better. So what is your opinion about that specific album, and where you were at in life when that album came out as well too.
Aquemini. So I think I was a junior going to my senior year in high school.
Okay.
Hell, Rosa Parks was like the opening song, like the warm-up song for our
warm-up song, yeah.
games. Yeah. So, but for me, like I always say, main, ATLiens, and Stankonia are my favorite.
Yeah.
But Aquemini, as far as sound, that's my favorite sounding Outkast album, because they start mixing in, like you have a beat at this. I think it was Aquemini actually. You have one beat for Big Boy and a different beat for Dre, and I never heard that in almost and how well it matched together. So to me, Aquemini would resonate with me. I won't say it influenced me, but it just showed that it's just different. You can just be different and still be cool.
Right.
And that was the biggest thing with Outkast. And I know, Rob, you mentioned it in the first with, in the spoken word, like, are you an Outkast? I don't know. That pretty much changed my life, because that I look at it this way. It made me not want to be a follower anymore. It made me want to be a leader. It just made me want to be me.
Yeah.
So, and then when you go into, and like you said, you graduate into ATLiens, and you start saying, okay, now I got to start thinking about my life and where I'm going, how I'm going to eat and stuff like that. And now you're going into Aquemini, and you're just like, you know what? It can work being different, because they changed every sound they did and still was the top-notch hip-hop act out there every year. So that's what resonated to me. And I was still a young man, still smelling my ass and trying to make it live. So it came out right in the perfect time for me, because it showed me that I can still be different and still be all right.
Yeah.
And still keep involving myself. So that's what it did for me.
So give me your standout track. Give me your standout track off of Aquemini, man. What's your standout track? What's one track you go back to, man? What's one track? I'm gonna ask you the same thing, OG Tec. Give you some time to think and chew on that while I'm over there chilling, dog. What's your go-to track, Mac, off of Aquemini? I know it's gotta be one go-to track.
My one go-to track is two. The Artist I'm Telling.
Part one or part two or both?
Part one.
Okay, part one. Okay.
Part one.
Talking about Sasha Thumper. Okay.
Sasha Thumper. Yeah. Dang. It's gotta be a tie. Between Rosa Parks, only because that's when I played basketball with. That was my shit. But I'll stick with Rosa Parks.
Okay.
I'll stick with Rosa Parks.
Yeah, shout out to Rosa Parks, man. They had to go to court with Rosa Parks to release that song because of them using her name and things like that. But they got it all cleared up in the end. So in the end, it worked out. But just showing the significance, and to your point, Matt, the maturation process. How significant is Rosa Parks to our culture? Like, who was talking about that in 98? I can remember that was talking about Rosa Parks. You know what I mean? Aha, what's that fuss? Everybody get to the back of the bus. Like, I mean, come on, man.
Or they even put out Mamacita. That was
Mamacita, Papa Ganta. Yeah, man. Yes.
That was pretty tight.
Yeah, man. Like, it's so many things, and I'm gonna pass the mic over to you in a second, OG Tec. I got you, bro. It's just like what they did with their music is making you proud to be black. God damn it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just proud to be a black person, man. And they showed so much of that in their music, and especially when it got to Aquemini. I think they really got to their roots in Aquemini. So that's why, to me, that's their standout album. But same question to you, Mr. OG Tec. What is your standout track on Aquemini, my good sir?
Rosa Parks and Aquemini.
Okay.
I think at that time, man, like Matt was saying, we had the 3 albums, but when they got here, it was like the sound was totally different. But at that time, Dre was going through that whole thing. Everybody was like, man, what's up with Dre? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is he gay, or is he this, or he dressing funny? Can he because he was going through so many different stages of transitioning. You know what I'm saying? Like the like you said, the blonde hair or the clothes was different. And just to hear him say that in that song, man, what's up with Andre? You know, is he gay? Is he whatever? You know, it was just like, okay, he letting you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm doing my thing, and I'm standing on my ground right now. This is me. I'm still the same person. You know, and like you said, Rosa Parks. I mean, nobody was speaking on that at that time. Yeah. You know, I do think that is a fire album, man. But just that Andre 3000 verse on Aquemini, man, just summed so much stuff up. People that was talking so much about him in the streets, trying to figure him out, you know. But he was just growing into him, and that goes back to the Outkast. Are you an Outkast? Yep. You know what I'm saying? So he being himself. So yeah, I love that album.
Yeah, man, I love that album too, and I agree with you guys. I think one of my standout joints is definitely Aquemini, the self-titled. Because to your point, Matt, the way they switched the beat for 3 Stacks and for Big Boy, I love how they did that. Big Boy's penmanship grew on that one as well. When you know, I think the How It Goes, if I can remember correctly, the name is Big Boy, Daddy Fast Ads, the nigga that ride that Cadillac. I'm coming with the streets, so the streets are where my folks at. I mean, like, he just murders it, like literally just murders that shit, man. And he just comes back with that street element to remind everybody, yeah, we still cast, but we still street too. You know what I'm saying? I know. And to your point, OG Tec, you know, 3 Stacks was going through his phases, which is cool, and we love 3 Stacks for that, to be an individual, and not to mention they set the stage for what they were going to be becoming in the 2000s. You know, with the Love Below and Speaker Box. That album is a diamond. One of the few albums of hip hop that went diamond. Diamond, ladies and gentlemen, is 10 million albums sold. They are one of the only few hip hop acts to knock that out. And it's not that, it's a real short list too. Short list. You know what I'm saying? It's like, people can say they did that, but to your point, OG Tec, they set the stage for that originality, creativity, and being true to themselves, man. And like, that's the way to do it, not compromising your art or your integrity. And that's what the South is about, man. That's what we about. And I think that's why it's so significant about these 3 albums. And to your point, Max, Stankonia, I love Stankonia, man. Like, that Red Velvet, boy, that Red Velvet goes so goddamn hard.
So fresh, so clean, man. It's my anthem.
That Red Velvet's so goddamn hard, man. But man, we could go on and on about this. But the one thing I want to talk about before we close things out, I'll let OG Tec close us out, Matt, because he's a newcomer today, is if you were from Atlanta, Georgia in the 90s and Outkast at first came out, I remember, and I want to get you guys' take on this as well too. I can remember, and I'm sure my audience, if you are from the city of Atlanta, Georgia, can remember this, that it wasn't cool to be from Atlanta. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't cool. Like, it was, oh man, I'm from LA, or I'm from New York, or I'm from here, I'm from nobody ever wanted to represent where we're actually from, where we grew up. And I think that Outkast gave us a lot of Southern pride. It gave us pride in ourselves, pride as Black people. But back in the day, if y'all remember, if y'all watching this, you from Atlanta, you know who I'm talking to. We were like, man, I ain't from Atlanta. I'm from somewhere else. I ain't trying to be from this old country bump up place. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't want to embrace it, man. They didn't want to embrace it. But now here we are, 2021. And now, you know, and Big Rube, he foresaw this, that Atlanta is a new move town in the South. And every recording artist that I come across in this journey that I've been on, everybody lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody. If they're not there, they're trying to get there. They're trying to record there. How ironic is that, right? How ironic that one album, Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, changed our entire way of looking at music and changed how we, as Black people, look at each other too. So OG Tec, I'm gonna get you the last word on this, man. You get the last word, my good brother. Since you're the newcomer, thank you again for coming on. But close us out, man. Give us some final thoughts on Outkast, my good dude.
Well, I'm gonna go to that what you were just speaking on, man. I'm kind of I've never experienced that coming from Augusta, man. But I have to go back and look at the time of that era. You had the East and West Coast, and the South was always considered slow. Yeah, you know, they always called the South slow. And I think when Outkast came out and they started changing the narrative of the South, that's when everybody was like, oh, the South really do got something to say. You know, that now we got to migrate down, you know, with the Goody Mobs and everybody else starting to follow suit as they came out, because you had the Goody Mobs, you had the TIs, and you had everybody starting to come out. And then, you know, Atlanta was just that the music hub of everything. Yeah. as far as Outkast, man, I'm it makes me proud to be from Georgia. You know, just coming up listening to those two gentlemen. Andre, you know, I want to give a big salute to him for just to say that you can come out one way and you can change and you can be yourself through this whole rap game. You know, I think there's a lot of artists out there now that try to be like somebody else and not themselves, or not comfortable with being themselves. So Andre kind of put it out there like, hey, you can be you, and who cares what people think? Just be you, you know. Right. Andre, Big Boy came out with the style. I mean, he kept it Southern player, gangster, but like I said, he had to change and transition a lot of his style and his music around how Andre was changing throughout his career, which made him a dope ass artist. As far as Outkast, they will always be on top of the list as the best group, to my thoughts, my opinion, of all time, especially representing the South. I don't think we'll ever have a duo like them to ever come out to even match to what they have done, as far as all the awards they've won, to all the groundbreaking, just everything they've done in this culture, and not only to grab the Black culture, to grab the white culture and mash it all together to be great, you know, to go diamond. Come on, man. I mean, it's unheard of. You know, it's unheard of.
Short list, bro. Short list.
So I just want to give a big salute to them. And I just wish that they come out with another album. I caught and I'm gonna just say I caught wind of maybe of an album coming out, but we'll just keep our fingers crossed on that and hope that this happens. But big salute to Outkast, man, the greatest group of the South.
I don't think there's anything else to be said behind that, man. To be honest, man. I think you have blazed the stage. Gentlemen, I have had a pleasure, absolute pleasure, to talk about my hometown city group, Outkast, pronounced Outkast. Adjective means homeless or accepted in society, man. But let's look deeper. Now, let me stop, man. Let me stop, man. Because this is my bag right here, man. But in true Diggie A-2 form and fashion, for season 3, we've been paying homage all season to the memory of George Floyd and all of the others that we have lost due to social injustice. So, gentlemen, if you could join me in a 9-second moment of silence, and then we'll get into the shout out portion here real quick. Amen. Amen. Let that man's soul rest in peace, and to all the others that we have lost due to social injustice in the United States of America. So we're getting to the shout out portion. My good brother Matt, his 5th appearance on the Diggie A-2 platform. First off, brother, before we get into that, thank you, man. Just thank you for always supporting me, supporting the Queen, and supporting what we've been doing, and since day one, man. So I appreciate you, homie. And the floor is yours, bro. Who your shout outs going to this week, man?
First shout out is to you, because of course you're my big brother, my only one I got. But nah, man, like I look up to you. I will look up to you the day I die. So keep doing what you're doing.
Word, appreciate it.
Shout out to OG Tec. Pleasure meeting you, sir. Hey, like your single says, keep winning, man. But I want to, I got to give a really big shout out to my boy Isaiah. Like this little punk is making me proud, man. I can't. It's a truly honor to be his father. So I gotta give a shout out to my boy. So, and shout out to Outkast, man. Like OG Tec said, man, they the greatest rap group ever to me. They're the greatest rap group ever. Ain't nobody even close.
Share your sentiments, bro. A lot of you are not alone. You are not alone in that. So hey, you can stand firm on that.
Yeah.
And mad love, respect to you, Matt, and always respect your perspective when you come on this platform. We can always have fun and bug out at the same time, man. So having fun, educating is what it's all about. So I appreciate it, bro. OG Tec's first appearance, man. My dude, man. Me and this cat, man. It seems like we get closer every single week, man. So he's like a brother to me, man. So the floor is yours, man. Who your child's going to, big homie?
All right, man. You know how I'm gonna start it out, man. Diggie A-2 in the building. You know what I'm saying? You know how
salute, man. Salute.
Diggie A-2 in the building. Big salute to Matt. I'm not gonna like name names, but I do want to give a shout out, like I said, to Outkast, to everybody out there, man. Just stay on your path, be great. My my beautiful wife for just keeping me pushing and motivated, man, and all my kids, man, because that's the thing. When I wake up, just to see them, it keeps me pushing. You know what I'm saying? So, just everybody stay on your craft and be great. Big salute to everybody around the world, man. You know, just don't give up. So.
Word. My shout outs is a long list, so hold on for a sec, y'all. First off, shout out to Matt, my brother from the same mother and father.
we better be.
Shout out to Matt, man, my best friend, man. That's real talk, man. And shout out to all the accomplishments that you've been doing. I know you can't talk about some of the things you got cooking in the background, but thank you, brother. You are killing it. And you are the epitome, Matt, of what we need more in our Black community, man. Like, the things that you are doing needs to be highlighted, man. And I wish I could talk about what you're about to do, what you're getting ready to do, but I can't until it happens. But brother, I'm so proud of you, man, of what you've been doing and accomplishing your MBA just recently too, man. So shout out to you, man, and your perseverance, and keep grinding. And shout out to Joe and the kids, my niece and nephew, Izzy and Isaiah. Love y'all, man. Shout out to mom and dad, of course, for raising us in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. So big shout out to mom and dad about that. Shout out to OG Tec and our One Team One Mission family. Samantha Lavelle, Red Balls, Hash, J-Bone is gonna be with me next week, man. Shout out to Myke Sessions too, man. Mike, we gotta hook up, man. Myke Sessions. I don't know if you all know about Myke Sessions. This dude is ATL to the bone, like every bone marrow in his body is Myke Sessions, man. Like, so I'm gonna reach out to Mike and have him reach out, and maybe me, Mike, and OG Tec can wrap up and can further this conversation about Outkast. Because if you all ever see, and I'm putting Myke Sessions' description in this video, this brother is the embodiment of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm telling you all right now. Like, every time I see him, like he is Atlanta out, whether it's with the Hawks, Braves, the goddamn soccer team, and he don't care, man. This dude embodies Atlanta, man.
Right.
Like,
Soccer team.
Yeah, man. He is that dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Myke Sessions, man. Love you, brother. Shout out to the family, of course. All the kids in the house. Shout out to the Queen Jess. And as my last shout out is all of our homies in Atlanta. That, you know, all of our homies. My boy Doc, PJ, Elytria, Christy, Kendall, Ed, Gina, Lawrence, Kendrick. Shout out to my second mom, Ms. Norwood. I mean, the list goes on and on because Atlanta is my hometown city. So I'm so excited to have this, but I can't make the journey on my own. I didn't get this far by myself, and I never will say that I will. So shout out to all of our friends and family in Atlanta, Georgia, and all the other ones that we gonna meet in the future. But that's all the time that we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you all for coming on the board. Next week, we'll be going to be talking about L Boogie, otherwise known as Lauryn Hill, next week. And my boy J-Bone from the J-Bone Show is coming on board to hang out with me on that from our One Team, One Mission family, or extended version of that. So I'm excited to have him on. But that's all we have for this week, you guys. Stay safe, and the pandemic is not over, man. I know what they're saying. Keep the damn mask on, all right? Be safe out there, all right? 100. Peace.